Hello everybody, Teldo here, and as promised today I'm going to be talking about the bomb build that I've been running lately, especially in my solo queue videos that I've been uploading. And I will call this video Tutorial Tuesday because it's Tuesday, and I think I'm going to make this a weekly thing to just upload some instructional stuff every week onto YouTube. I plan on talking about builds, certain utility skills, maybe some tricks that I learned, and we'll see if I find enough content in the long run. But I have a few things planned for the next weeks. Either way, let's get to the build itself. Bombs. I really enjoy bombs because they are more diverse than grenades are. Bombs and grenades are the two primary offensive kits that people run, and grenades are way more popular nowadays. Grenades are primary offensive, like they have no real utility. They have long range, they're really good against down targets because they can't move. On moving targets it's a little bit unreliable to hit on range. And other than that, they have damage and maybe a chill effect. That's about it. While bombs have a lot more to them. They have damage with fire bomb and concussion bomb. They also have a lot of defensive capabilities with glue bomb and smoke bomb. You can peel for yourself, you can peel for allies. The big bomb helps a lot with it as well. It's a launch effect, which is amazing, and it's a blast finisher as well. And what you can do, you can also use your smoke finisher to stealth yourself or allies to help people escape from enemies, to stealth people and rest them, or stealth yourself and stomp enemies. You can use it to just spam a bunch of blast finishers into it, like this, and then you have a stealth for like 6 seconds or so, and you can just sneak across the map and maybe get behind enemy lines and decap something while the enemies don't expect it. It's really awesome how much you can do with bombs. It allows you to do really interesting things, and that's what I just enjoy about the build. The build itself, compared to the normal Celestial Rifle Engineer which is being ran nowadays, it might be weaker overall, maybe. I mean, yeah, it definitely is weaker overall because the Celestial Rifle build is amazing, and team fights is also really good in 1v1s. This build that I'm running with bombs is good in 1v1s, but it lacks in team fights, and it doesn't even mean that this build is necessarily better than the Celestial build in 1v1s. It's different. It has like some matchups it has trouble against, and some matchups that can be pretty easy. But either way, what you want to do with this kind of build, you want to go for side nodes, you want to avoid teamfights if possible, and you want to go for the side nodes and decap them. Bombs will help a lot with that because enemies will be forced to stay on the small radius of the side nodes if they want to contest the node, which limits their escape possibilities. So they, like, if a node is like, let's see, if a node is maybe as big as, I don't know, like this from the center here, you can really limit the possibilities of them to move around. And that's what bombs are primarily good for. They're hard to hit on enemies if they just try to avoid them. Like, they won't get hit if they want to avoid them. But since you will go for the side nodes, it's a lot easier to hit them because they will not have as much room to move around. And bombs are primarily there for zoning. So especially if you fight against a thief, for example, or a warrior or whatever, someone who has to go into melee range to deal their max burst damage, you can drop the bomb preemptively when you think that they're gonna go for you, and then they will have to make the decision: do they want to burst you now and take damage themselves from the bombs, or do they play around the bomb and wait until it expires? But you pretty much always have something up, like especially if you go for the bomb cooldown, you can lay down your smoke bomb, and then when that expires you have your fire bomb up again, and then maybe you can lay down the glue bomb into the concussion bomb, and then your fire bomb is almost back up again. Lots of zoning potential with that, and enemies can't just stay out of the bombs all the time, which allows you to deal a pretty decent amount of damage with the bombs. You just have to you just have to plan ahead with it. It's not always completely reliable, but you can deal good damage with it. Well, either way, you go for the side notes with this build and you try to get the decaps with the bombs and your knockbacks. And this build is really good and sustaining 1v1s, and it's also decent in sustaining 1v2s every now and then. So that's what you want to do. Decap the node. As long as you're in a 1v1 on a decapped node, that's already worth it if you go for the far node or something like that. And if they send another guy for you and you can stay alive against two people for a while with your block and then maybe a dodge into another block, and then maybe you blind them a little bit with your static shot, and then you use your smoke field, and then you stealth yourself last second to maybe get away. Like, you can do a lot of things to just stay alive. It's tricky. This build is not tanky. It basically relies on evading damage with your blinds, blocks, and dodges. But it's like high risk, but if you do it really well, you can even win 1v2s oftentimes, especially if there's a thief on you. Like, thieves can kill you super fast, but if you like somehow manage to avoid all their big bursts and make them run into your damage, hitting them with your incendiary powder every now and then. If I would crit now. Here we go. That takes them down pretty fast. So yeah, let's talk about the build itself. Let's see. I run pistol shield. Pistol is not really worth it ever, because I mean, the extra burn you get from it is not really that great, and shield just offers so much more. It has an extra blast finisher, and your shield 5 is amazing to stay alive for a little bit longer. Then you got the Sigil of Doom. It's probably the best sigil you can run with this, because look at it, it ticks for 204 every second, 205, and it is almost up permanently. It's a lot of damage. It reduces the healing by 33%, and it's just good. It's just amazing. For the second Sigil, I'm not too sure what to run yet. I'm trying out Sigil of Torment. I used to run Sigil of Geomancy a lot. Geomancy is good damage, but it can also like hinder yourself if you try to stealth and then you proc it on accident on a target nearby and it breaks the stealth and stuff like that. And it just oftentimes misses because you need to switch your kit for the speedy kits to just run around. For runes, I run Balthasar. Extra burn duration is just amazing. You need at least 50% burn duration. With this, you get 75%. And the Rabbit Amulet, because it's condition built and you want that damage. You can alternatively run Settler's Amulet, which will give you a lot more sustain, but a lot less damage, because you won't have the crit, the constant crit, but you will have a lot of healing power and less condition damage. If you do run Settler's Amulet, though, you need to run Intelligence Sigil as your second sigil. It gives you 3 crits every 9 seconds, and that allows you to get your crit procs that are so essential to deal damage with this build, because the crit proc gives you Incendiary Powder, which is your primary and most reliable damage on range. If you do run the Settler's Amulet, if you do run the Settler's Amulet, you should also probably run Elixir Gun, because that gives you a lot more sustain, a stun break, and it just scales amazing with healing power. If you don't run the Settler's Amulet, and if you want to be a little bit more offensive, you can run Slick Shoes, which I prefer more after a lot of testing, I think. It also allows you to be somewhat useful in team fights, while Elixir Gun doesn't really offer much for team fights, but it's good to have the extra sustain on side notes. For the traits, I run 6 in explosives. That's a must-have. You always need 6 points in explosives if you run bombs, because you need the larger explosion radius. You need the incendiary powder for the extra, like that's your main damage on range. It's so important. And you also need the recharge on bombs. Kinda. I mean, I would definitely go for it. Explosives is really good also because it gives you condition duration. And the recharge on bombs allows you to just stay alive for longer and have more damage output, and it's a pretty big deal if you have 20% less cooldown, and it allows you to like stealth more often as well. I like it a lot. And then I have 2 points in firearms. I used to run 6 in alchemy. It's still possible. It just comes down to personal preference. The 2 points in firearms allows you to gain a little bit more damage because of the bleed on crit. It gives you more crit chance in general, and it gives you 100 condition damage, which is amazing. And it gives you infused precision, which gives you vigor. Well, it gives you swiftness, and swiftness gives you vigor since you run this trait as well. And since your usual swiftness source has a 10 seconds cooldown and the vigor has 5 seconds cooldown, you won't be able to have perma vigor just with that. If you run infused precision though, you will crit a lot, and that will allow you to keep up your vigor pretty much at all times, especially because you have fire bombs up and stuff like that, which ticks like every second. And you have like a lot of small damage sources. But yeah. Other than that, you have to run for an alchemy. Yeah, vigor is pretty much a must-have. It allows you to dodge a lot more, and I think Backpack Regenerator is also really important for this build because it gives you a lot of sustain. You don't have to have a kit equipped at all times. You just need to switch to it like every 10 seconds and it will tick passively all the time. And 10 points for speedy kits because you need that swiftness even out of combat to just move across the map. Because if you would just run this, infused, why do I always say infused? Infused precision. That will give you swiftness in combat, but it won't give you swiftness if you would want to move between two nodes. And you don't have any other swiftness source. So, yeah, you can move the 2 points from firearms to alchemy if you want. Other than that, explosives, just as I said, is a must-have to have 6 points in there. And it's really hard to switch points around, and there aren't like too many other really attractive choices anyway. In inventions, there isn't anything amazing anyway. Protective shield is meh. And cloaking devices, too, because the stealth is nice, but if you have like a bomb out at that time, even if you dodged, for example, you leave a little bomb behind and that explodes, that will break the stealth immediately. So I don't like this trait very much. And I forgot to mention that if you put more points into alchemy, you can go for protection injection, which gives you more survivability against burst spells. You can break the stun right away, and then you have like 3 seconds of protection on you. It's okay. I think I like firearms more overall, though. But yeah. So this is the build, pretty much. As I said, you go for the side nodes, you try to force enemies off the node, you try to get the decaps, win the 1v1s. Some 1v1s are really hard to win, but most of the 1v1s, even if you can't win them, you can at least out-sustain them and get the decaps still. You can do your sneaky plays with the stealth across the map. You can res allies in teamfights every now and then, and if you have to join a teamfight and you have slick shoes available, you try to pull like an enemy in, and then you use slick shoes on the target to just keep it knocked down. The dummies teleport away, but if you do that on a target that has no stun break or anything up anymore, you can pretty much shut that target down for a really long time with the slick shoes. And that allows your team to kill that target. You don't have as much direct damage. This build doesn't really deal any direct damage. The only real burst damage you have is with your confusion stacks, which don't really work during your CC combo, and your burning. Like, your burning is your primary damage. But it's sustained damage, which is somewhat reliable. But yeah, it's really not amazing in team fights. So yeah, try to focus on the side nodes, get the decaps, and let's talk about a few combos that you can do. If you want to decap a node, Big Bomb into Glue Bomb is amazing because the Glue Bomb will immobilize the target, and the immobilize will last until the Big Bomb blows up. So they would have to dodge the Glue Bomb, and then the dodge expires and the Big Bomb would blow up. So they need 2 dodges, or they need to dodge once and move outside of the radius of the Big Bomb, which most of the time means they need to move outside of the capturing node as well. So that's great for decapping. It's absolutely amazing for decapping. Then you can use your shield 4 or your slick shoes to keep them off the node after they moved off, or you can elite them. It's a bunch of possibilities you have to keep people off node. When allies go down, You can stealth them. You can also use your shield 5 to just daze them twice in a row. If they have like only one stability stack, that will the first daze will break the stability, and then the second will daze them. Then you can like use your shield 4 to knock them away. Slick shoes, elite. You have a lot of CC with this to help people stay alive, peel for them, or just control enemies in the down fights. More combos. You can use your glue bomb when you're like this close to an enemy. You can use your glue bomb next to them, and they won't be able to get outside of the range of it unless they dodge. And then you can follow it up with a concussion bomb, for example, because the immobilize will last until the concussion bomb blows up, which is a really good combo. The glue bomb in general is really great to force enemies to dodge. Another thing you can do with your toolkit, you can start a pull and then you can cancel it, and it only goes on 4 seconds cooldown, and when the enemies see this line, they will immediately dodge most of the time. So when you know they have energy to dodge, and if they know what they're doing, like if they're potent players, they will almost always dodge unless they just don't see it, but most of the time they do see it. So try to fake dodges out of your enemy with this, and then you can punish them for it a little bit. Like you can hit your burn on them, and maybe if you get close enough, you can hit your glue bomb. And if they dodge another time at that point, like sometimes people do double dodges, you can just pull them, and then you can do your usual CC combo and just deal a lot of damage to them. Oh, the thing is not teleporting back. Oh yeah, another combo which is useful, your throw range and your shield 5 are both 100% projectile finishers. So if you lay down a firebomb, for example, then you wait until the thing is back off cooldown, you can throw your range and it will apply burning twice to that target. That is also a combination with my burning proc now, but you can see it's a really long burning on that target. So that's a little bit of extra damage you can get. You can also use that with your smoke bomb to apply 100% blind to the target if you want to stay alive for a little bit longer. And yeah, you can also lay down your big bomb into an elite. That's also a combo which can screw people over. That's a stun into an immobilize into a big bomb. And then after the big bomb blows up, you can like lay down another glue bomb and combo it up more with that, and maybe you can pull them or knock them back with your shield 4 or use slick shoes or whatever. You can do some crazy CC combos, and you don't have like the craziest damage to like actually finish people during that time, but if you have an ally dealing damage with you, it can be very lethal. And yeah, actually let's switch to my I think my elite is keeping me in combat now. I'm gonna switch to my elixir gun in a second if I do manage to get out of combat. Here we go. Elixir gun, if you want to run that, the elixir gun 5 is an extra condi removal, which is nice, and a little bit of extra healing, and you can use your F1 into elixir bomb, whatever, acid bomb, to get an extra blast finisher. So that's really good for sustain. And also another quick combo actually is the big bomb with your F1. Having the right timing with it is important. You can lay down a big bomb and you can auto attack twice with the pistol, then you can use your F1. Unfortunately I'm lagging right now, but trust me, it works. Big bomb, auto attacking twice and then pressing and regenerating mist will be exactly the right timing to gain the water finisher with a big bomb. There are a lot of small cool combos you can do with this. It's a lot of information and I don't want to like overload you with information. If you have any questions though about this build, please let me know in the comments. Also let me know about any kind of feedback, and I think I'm gonna cut it for now, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will be back tomorrow with another solo queue video, or maybe even a knockback funsies video. We will see. And next week I'm gonna see if I can make another tutorial Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.